Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. Today I want to talk about a topic that is fundamental to our personal and professional lives in terms of communication. And in doing so, I'm going to draw insights from the book, It's All About It. And so in this particular interview with you, I'd like to explore how focusing on behaviour rather than the person can transform our interactions. And I'm hoping that we will delve into the importance of being curious instead of furious, and being responsive instead of reactive, and doing instead of stewing. And I'm hoping to inspire you to adapt these principles to your daily lives. So when I talk to you firstly about focusing on behaviour and not the person, one of the key messages in the book, It's All About It, and this is the one as you can see in front of me, is really about understanding and addressing behaviours rather than labelling people. So when we focus on behaviour, we create a space for constructive feedback and growth. For example, instead of saying you are always late, we can say, I noticed you were late to the meeting today. And this approach separates the action from the individual, making it easier for the person to be able to accept feedback without feeling attacked. So one of my key phrases in the book is be curious instead of furious. And so when faced with a challenging situation, our natural reaction might be to get angry or frustrated. And, being curious basically means that we can lead more and have more productive outcomes in the conversations that we have. So for instance, if a colleague misses a deadline, instead of immediately expressing anger, we can ask, can you help me understand what happened? And what this does is it opens up a dialogue and allows us to uncover underlying issues that might be affecting performance. Curiosity fosters empathy and understanding, which are crucial for effective communication. One of the next key headers that I use the most is be responsive instead of reactive. So reactive impulsively to situations often leads to misunderstandings and conflicts. So this is when our amygdala gets into action. So being responsive means we now engage with our prefrontal cortex, and that involves taking a moment to process information before responding thoughtfully. So for example, if you receive a critical email, instead of firing back and immediately offering a defensive reply, take a moment to breathe, consider the points raised, and then consider a measured response. So it might be something like, thank you for your feedback. I would like to discuss this further to understand your perspective. And this approach then helps in de-escalating tensions and promotes a more constructive conversation. The final heading that I used, or key heading that I used in the book about it, it's about be doing instead of stewing. And what do I mean by that? Stewing over problems without taking action can lead to stress and inaction. So instead, focusing on actionable steps can help resolve issues more effectively. So for example, if you are feeling overwhelmed by a project, instead of dwelling on the stress, break the project into smaller tasks and start tackling them one by one. This proactive approach not only reduces anxiety, but also leads to tangible progress. So when we talk about the book, It's All About It, we're really promoting effective communication. And it's about effective communication focusing on behaviours. How? By being curious instead of furious, being responsive instead of reactive, and of course being doing instead of stewing. So I thank you today for allowing me to come in and share with you some of my insights. But I do leave you with a particular call to action. I encourage each of you to reflect on your communication style and consider how you can incorporate these principles into your interactions. And hopefully by doing so, you can create a more positive and productive environment, both personally and professionally. Thank you.